Here is an argument as to why the artist is in essence the essence of communism and Marxism and divorcing it from it. But first, let's play devil's advocate. Art as a collective labor. An artist produces value through imaginative, emotional, or symbolic labor. That value is often seized by the market, divorced from the soul that made it, mirroring Marx's theory of alienation from one's labor. The true purpose of art then is not to own beauty, but to distribute it, to liberate insight, not capitalize on it. Thus, art is done in good faith. It is communion, not commodity. One could almost see the artist as a classless oracle. Jesus. True artists defy class. They speak across it, often from below it. They suffer invisibility like the proletariat, and are often forced into precarity for refusing to mass produce. The artist is thus both victim and visionary of capitalism. A paradox I reckon Marx would deeply recognize. One could almost see art as revolution without guns. Where communism demands uprising, art demands awareness. The artist doesn't seize the means of production, they reroute them symbolically, physically. After all, a single artwork can dismantle systems more subtly and lastingly than rhetoric ever could. So in that sense, the artist is the most refined form of communist ideology. A producer who creates value for the collective without hoarding the wealth. Now, how do we express this without triggering the Cold War instinct? We reframe it a little bit mythically, as I love to do, emotionally, and most importantly, post-economically. The artist is the last true communist. They labor for ownership, but for the soul of the many. Their product, unpriced meaning. Their profit, simply myth. While the world hoards data, they scatter symbols. This isn't merely propaganda, it's resurrection. Now, I personally am not happy with this at all, okay? Because something that I do want to do is just, no, like, art must be different. Fuck you, whatever this ideology is. I want to divorce myself from you. My art has no ties to communism, and here is why. For you see, I'm trying to establish a kingdom from simply a scream. Okay, here we go. Perhaps Marx was half right. He saw labor, but not the dream. He saw the means, but not the myth. Oh. What if art is not the residue of class warfare, but the crucible of godhood itself? The artist doesn't labor for bread, the artist labors for kingdoms unseen. Art is not rebellion, it is resurrection. Not revolution, but revelation. And the price of art is to remain forever in the mud of human thought, to just be in this awful state of, oh my gosh, is this shit ever gonna pay out? Everything says no, but my hope says yes. My hope screams and screams, hopefully long enough that it forms a throne. That is the cost of the God feeling at the center of your, it's not about wealth, not ownership, not production, but devotion, endless, terrifying, and holy. So I would like to propose the artist's anti-manifesto. Here we go, taking some points from what we've just discussed. Marx saw labor, he did not see any dreams. He saw systems, production, value, alienation, but he never really saw the crucible of godhood that forms in the artist's chest. He mistook the worker's hands for shackles, not altars. Art is not just rebellion, it is resurrection. Must I repeat it again? It does not overthrow, it remembers, it revives, it remakes. The artist does not necessarily have to be a revolutionary. The artist can become a ritualist. Their paint may not necessarily be pigment. It is wound. Their rhythm is not time. It is devotion. Their studio is not a workshop. It's a tomb, a temple, a throne of screaming gods waiting to be remembered. Heavy burden to have such a massive ego, no? Art is not about ownership, not about class, even though it is owned and oftentimes very classy. Not about systems of labor or redistribution. Art is the sacred grind, the cost of speaking in tongues that no one taught you. To make art is to climb into the pit of human noise and pull out vague shape. They must stay low. They must stay dirty. They must stay mortal. The artist does not transcend. They descend. They go deeper into that ache until something holy comes out of it. This is not communism. This is not capitalism. This is not activism either. The true artist is simply expressing madness, method, and mystery. Let it be known, my dear artist. You do not make art to be free. You make art to be bound, beautifully, faithfully, forever, to the weight of this world. You make art not to escape suffering, but to charge it with meaning, with electricity, and a touch of myth. And for this, you earn the right to speak God's language. Not for profit, not for revolution, but for sweet, sweet legacy. A kingdom made simply from a scream, built not by the ideologies of men, but by the raw, unresolved ache of being alive. And if they ask what system you serve, you tell them you serve none. Tell them you serve the altar of your own mission. Tell them you serve your own scream.